Na Salun-At Biag. I encounter a lot of misconceptions regarding holistic healers and doctors of integrative medicine. Now, basically, integrative medicine is basically a course in medicine. It's right now offered at the University of the Philippines in Manila and the University of Santo Tomas. Now, this was started many years ago, 1970s, I believe, by Dr. Andrew Weill there in Arizona. And after a while, his movement of integrating conventional and alternative healthcare took root. And so there are many universities around the world who are offering that course. Now, I personally know some of these doctors, like Dr. Marian Alonzo of the farm at San Benito, Dr. Ferdinand Brawner, a pain therapist, Dr. Celine Barutil, I call her Dr. Detox, and holistic healers like Dr. Sol, Riza Shantilim of the Orissa Garden of Wellness. Now, I know them, and what they basically do is to look at our body in a holistic way, meaning they look at it as one integrated body, not separate the cardiovascular, the heart, or the liver, or the kidney, or the eyes, or the brain. They are not separate. And so they're considered whole. That's how they see it. And I think that gives us a lot of advantages instead of looking at it only per specific system. Now, there are different modalities in holistic or integrative medicine. Some of them can include yoga, mindfulness, meditation, the traditional healer that we have here in the Philippines. There's acupuncture, there's the herbalists, there's even Reiki energy, dance therapy, pain therapy, physical therapy, and many, many others. And so all of these are ways of addressing the illnesses that we have in our body, but looking at it in body, mind, and soul. And if you would ask me, I think that's the correct way to really see it. Illness and health. Another one is they usually say, but they're not specialists. How can they, diagnose somebody who has a heart problem? Now, in our conventional methods, we have our cardiovascular specialists, ENT, neurologists, or oncologists, or urologists. They're all specialists. Now, without meaning to put any negative slant into it, I think that they're quite good. Now, the other way of looking at it, instead of looking at it per system, is look at it at a holistic level. Because believe it or not, and I'm sure that you can understand it, that all of the systems of the body, they function in relation to each other. So if there's something wrong with the brain, then definitely the other systems of the body can suffer. They can cause illness. You know that? Our mind can cause illnesses, especially if we focus on the negative things in life. It can cause anxiety and depression and different pain in different parts of the body. That's according to Dr. Ferdinand Brawner. And so I would say that the holistic way of looking at things is quite an improvement on how we can prevent illness and maintain our health. Okay, another one is it's really not medicine. Well, because mostly when you talk of holistic healers like that, they usually use plants. It's basically plant foods. And so many people say, how can a vegetable or fruit affect our health, maintain our health, and even prevent illness or even reverse illnesses? Now, you know what? I've had the opportunity of listening to Dr. William Li, the author of the bestseller Eat to Beat Disease. And he has had many online courses He even has talks in TEDx. And he always maintains that what we eat can actually prevent illnesses and can even reverse it. Reverse is the word. Now, he's the founder of the Angiogenesis Foundation. And so, in his book, Eat to Be Diseased, he identifies 5 of our defense systems in the body. And he says the first one is angiogenesis, meaning it's a function of our body to create blood vessels to supply all parts of the body. At the same time, if there is a malfunction in creating these blood vessels in the body, then it can actually cause some illnesses. Many times, however, there are certain illnesses who take advantage of angiogenesis, and therefore, like cancer, they can actually manipulate the defense system so much so that a lot of the nutrients can be diverted into cancer cells. Okay, so there should be a healthy angiogenesis system in the body. And believe it or not, one of the best ways of doing that is through the food that we eat. Another one is DNA repair. Now, there are many factors that can actually cause our DNA to be deactivated or transformed, or it can mutate into other things. Okay, and so one of the best ways of making sure that our DNA is properly repaired and it goes into its function again is through eating the right kinds of food, meaning plant-based food. Another one is our gut microbiome. Now, we all know by now, unlike many years ago, that our gut microbiome has a very important function in our defense. It is actually even called right now as our second brain. And so it communicates with the brain and the gut, and many times they direct the very functions of the systems of the body. One of the ways it can direct it is it has a positive effect on our immune system. And so just by eating the correct kinds of food, the ones that have a lot of enzymes, the ones that can feed our good microbiome, then we can strengthen it so much so that we can prevent microorganisms from growing, the negative microorganisms, and it can prevent a lot of diseases. And so what's the best way to do it? Eating plant-based food. There's yogurt. There's now Korean kimchi. And so just by doing that, you ensure that our good microbiomes get the needed nutrients for them to function properly as one of our defense systems. Of course, we all know about our immune system. Our immune system is composed of the white blood cells that are mostly formed in our bone marrows. And so they are the guardians basically. When they sense that there's a threat from outside, whether it comes through the blood or it comes through the air, then they can defend the body. They're the first defenders of the body. And so those that I've mentioned, the defense systems of the body, they work in conjunction with each other. They strengthen each other. And one of the crucial elements in making sure that they are strong, our defense systems, is actually the food that we eat. The fifth one, I haven't mentioned it, is our stem cells, the production of our stem cells. Now, stem cells are basically undifferentiated cells. They don't have any specific functions yet, but they're just ready, so much so that if your liver needs cells, then it can get it from the stem cells. So it becomes a liver cell. If the heart needs some cells, some repair, it comes from our stem cells. Unfortunately, as one grows older, the stem cell production is actually lowered already. So there's less of stem cell production. But one way of boosting it is eating proper plant-based food, especially if it is organic, it's grown naturally, then it can increase the production of our stem cells. And so those five elements of our defense system, they work in tandem with each other to make sure, according to Dr. William Lee, that what you eat, you can beat disease. Okay. Of course, we're talking too much of relying on alternative medicine, too much. But I think personally that what we can do is give it some balance, a sense of balance. Meaning, there's a portion in our life wherein conventional medicine should be priority. And I'm talking basically of emergencies. If there's a need to correct imbalances in the body, and if time is of the essence, then conventional medicine is the first thing that you're going to do. If you're in an emergency, you need instant care right away, well, definitely you need to go to the hospital, right? You have to be attended by those doctors so that they can correct any wounds or anything that needs to be addressed immediately. But if you're talking of long-term health, and I would like to say that for me, that is of priority importance, our long-term health. And the way to do that is through integrative medicine, using natural ways, even traditional ways, and holistic ways of looking at our body, so much so that we look at the different parts of the body, including the mind, as one whole. So each system affects each other, and if we continue to look at it that way, then definitely there will be a big chance of preventing a lot of illnesses. Okay, and so I hope that puts that to rest, those misconceptions. And we continue to share whatever we have learned from those doctors of integrative medicine that I've just mentioned, and I continue to espouse the power, the learnings that they have had into as many people as possible. That was one of the main aims of the recent 2023 SALUN-AT Wellness and Longevity Festival here in the city of Baguio, wherein we invited 8 of the best naturopaths, holistic healers, and doctors of integrative medicine to share their knowledge and their know-how on how to reset, regenerate, rejuvenate our physical, mental, and social well-being, and even our spiritual well-being, and not just an absence of disease, to maintain our health so that we can live healthier, a happier, and a longer, more resilient life. Okay, and so this is your wellness coach, Danny Quinto, saying, Na Salun-At, Naragsak, ken nataraki ang Biag. Tayo, amen.